We recently published a video of me doing shellac manicure, and the removal was really good. So quite a few people were asking me how I make the removal so effortless. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 10 different ways to improve your shellac removal. Now, first of all, not too many people know that shellac is not a type of product. It's actually a brand name for a product made by C&D, and that's why it's C&D shellac. So in this video, I'm going to talk about C&D shellac removal because other brands remove differently, so this is about shellac. If you follow C&D online, if you follow them on Instagram, you probably have noticed that they posted this absolutely amazing removal, and we've tried to replicate it, and we figured out how to do this perfectly. So in case you wonder, you have to apply shellac, cure it, and then soak it off right away. In real life, shellac removal is not as good, but it's still really good. It's one of the easiest products, I think the easiest product to remove. But there are a few things that will make the removal even better. Number one, use a full system. Many times people mix and match products and they use shellac color with different base coat or different top coat. And using different base coat and top coat will affect how the product removes, and usually it removes much more difficult. Number two, you want to make sure that you apply a very thin coat because the remover has to penetrate all the way through all the layers in order to release from the nails. So the thinner the coat, the better. And I applied the base coat thin, the original base coat, the coats of color thin, and the top coat thin. The first coat of color, it is normal to be quite transparent. And you can see when I apply it that I put a lot of pressure actually on all the coats. I put a lot of pressure on the brush, which makes the application thinner out. And I always think of me stretching the product to make sure that it's applied as thin as I can. Applying shellac is different than applying a regular polish. So if your technique, if you are used to applying traditional polish, make sure you adjust your technique and apply the C&D shellac much thinner. Number three, mix the product well. In order to achieve a good pigmentation, you have to make sure that shellac is mixed properly. The product is much thicker, so you need much more shaking in order for it to have a good pigmentation. I personally don't have a time to mix everything by hand, although you can. So I use a shaker and I shake, especially when the bottle is brand new, I shake it 2 to 3 times, so 2 to 3 minutes. Shaker is a great invention. I highly recommend it. When the pigments are distributed in the product really well, you will be able to apply the shellac much thinner and it will still look good. Number 4, proper remover. Obviously, in order to remove the product well, you need a proper remover. So C&D has a product that is called Awfully Fast, very clever name, and it's a mixture of acetone, oils, and fragrance. The C&D remover contains macadamia seed oil, so be careful if you have nut allergies, but macadamia seed oil is actually very nice for the skin and the nails, and it has a high content of oleic acid and palmitoleic acid, which are very similar to human skin sebum. Some people think that pure acetone is the strongest, but I spoke to a chemist a while ago and he told me that sometimes pure acetone, that the remover that goes with the product can actually work better than pure acetone. But when it comes to shellac, I have removed it with pure acetone. I often remove it with pure acetone and it works really well. You will have a little bit of a whitening of the skin and the nails with pure acetone, which is very temporary. It's not a big deal. It's just a little bit drying, but the dryness is very temporary. Obviously, when you are using pure acetone, make sure that the acetone is cosmetic grade. Don't just go to a hardware store or a paint store or something and just pick up acetone. There's a difference between acetone quality. Number 5, saturate the pads well. I like using cosmetic remover, makeup remover pads, and I cut them into 4 pieces. If they're quite thick, I actually peel them into 2 little flakes and I make sure that I saturate them well. So make sure they're not dripping, but also make sure that they fit the nail well and that they are saturated well. Number 6, wrap the nails tightly with foil. The remover has to make a proper contact with the nail in order to soak off the product properly, so make sure that the nails are wrapped correctly. C&D recommends cotton and foil method. and that is my favorite method as well. I like foil because it keeps the heat in and it slows down the evaporation of the remover. If you are removing shellac from your own nails, I suggest that you remove the shellac from one hand, you wait the recommended amount of time, then you remove it, and then you wrap your other hand. It's gonna be very difficult to wrap your hands with the wrapped hand. Side note, if one of the wraps comes loose or falls off, don't just tighten it, because by then the remover has usually evaporated from the pad and you will be placing the dry pad on the nail. So re-soak the pad and re-wrap the nail. Number 7, adding clips. I know some people like using clips alone and it works for them, so whatever works for you, but I find that I like using the foil better, and I actually like adding clips to the foil. It keeps everything tight and it makes a very good contact with the nail. Number 8 is very important. It's the heat. I find adding heat really speeds up the removal process. And word of caution, please do not put any acetone, any remover in the microwave. This is very, very unsafe to warm it up. Do not do that. You can use the microwavable heating pads, the ones filled with rice. They work really well. Usually you would warm them up in the microwave for 2 minutes and then place on the client's hands or your own hands. Or you can use a heating pad, which that's what I do right now. And like the electrical heating pad, and I put a towel over the client's hands, and then I put the heating pad, and I actually put some weight on top of it just so the contact is better. Now make sure that the heat is comfortable. The hands don't have to be hot by any means, and they just need to be a little bit warmer. And it's especially helpful in the winter when people have cold hands. It really makes a big difference. Number 9, proper soaking time. Make sure that you allow enough time for the remover to completely saturate through all the layers down to the base coat, for the base coat to release from the nail. So then you don't have to scrape the nail, because you don't want to damage the nail. When nail has been exposed to any type of solvents for more than a minute, it's much more easier to be damaged, so just be careful. C&D shellac top coat is quite porous on its own, and it's designed to be removed without any buffing. And I have continuously people asking why I don't buff the nail or remove the top coat. Is because you don't have to. The top coat is quite porous. C&D shellac has 2 base coats, the original one and the extender, the wear extender one, but I don't find there was any difference when it comes to removing the base coats. C&D shellac has 4 top coats now. It has Express 5, it has the original one, it has Duraforce, and it has the new no wipe top coat, and actually it has also the special effects top coats, which are very similar to the original top coat. By the way, the soak off time is normally measured from the time that you wrap all the 10 nails, not from when you start wrapping the nails. If you use the Express 5 top coat, the removal time will be 5 minutes. If you use the original top coat, which I use the most, the removal time is 8 minutes. If you use Duraforce, the removal is 15 minutes. The no wipe top coat is quite new to me. I've worked with it a couple times and I've had issues removing it, so I have to work with it a little bit more to be able to tell you more about it. If you are interested in different top coats and what are the differences between them, please let us know and we can make a video about the C&D shellac top coats. By the way, if you applied 3 coats of color, then I would add a minute or 2 to the soak off time. Number 10, we're almost done. So number 10 is remove, some people don't know that, remove 1 nail at a time. So don't, when the time is up, don't unwrap all the nails and start removing the product. Remove the clip from 1 nail, remove the foil, remove the shellac, clean the nail. If you need to push it off a little bit more, push it off a little bit more, and then move on to the next nail. Because if you remove all the nails, the product has time to kind of harden up and it makes it a little bit more difficult to remove. This is it for this video today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you, please let us know in the comment section. We really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Okay, and now We have to turn on the microphone, or is it working already?
The microphone is on.
Is it recording?
It's not in recording, no.
Okay, how do you record?
Oh, you hit the record button.
Mm-hmm.
It's the red button.
Okay.
You see the red button? That's the record button.
Texting.
Texting. Did you put it to the beginning?
No.
Okay, put it to the beginning.
Why?
Put it to the beginning, please.
So now, do I stop it? How do I stop it?
Hit the space bar.
Space bar.
There you go. Just keep the cue of your ears over your shoulders. Like so. Not... Oh, God.
Hi, everyone. I recently purchased...
Remember about the glasses, because they keep sliding down.
Do not remind me about the glasses in this video, please.
I think what I'm gonna do...
No.
I'm gonna like put those like an elastic band on them to keep them where they need to be.
By the way, C&D Shellac.
I'm trying so hard not to laugh. I'm really trying to hold it together.
This is going to be fun to edit.